Okay, it's not this, it's this thing here. Okay. So just like I told you, today we're talking about the comparative forms, and we use them to compare two things in English. Okay. When you want to like say something is better than the other, when you want to say something is worse than the other, when something is more beautiful than the other, you use comparative forms, all of them. So let's see how we can
better
use.
than the other, when you want to say something is worse than the
Oops,
other,
just a
when
second that
something is more
I'm hearing
beautiful than the
myself.
other.
Okay, now it's better. So when you want to say something is more beautiful than the other, you use the comparative forms. Okay, and today we're talking about them. So before I start, let me explain a little bit how this is going to work. The grammar part of English is going to be here on YouTube on our channel. So please subscribe if you want more tips to to make your life easier. Right? When you go to our immersions, that you can schedule them on our website. And that's it. I guess that's all the tips that I can give you right now. So let's start talking about comparatives. Okay. So, when the adjective that you're using is short, okay, and here you have some examples like old, cool, hot, small, you put er in the end of the word. So, for example, the she's older than me. The adjective here is old is a short word, so you need to say she's older than me. Okay, he's cooler than the boys in California. Cool is an adjective that is a short word, so you need to say cooler. Today is hotter than yesterday. Hot is a small adjective, right? A short word, so you need to say hotter. Brazil is smaller than the USA. Small is a short word, so you need to say smaller. Um, some examples of adjectives that you may use with er in the end: stronger, it's strong, the comparative of strong; taller, okay, the comparative of tall; younger, the comparative of young; funnier, the comparative of fun; colder, the comparative of cold, the opposite of hot that we just saw here, right? Shorter, that is the comparative of short; slimmer, the comparative of slim; long, that comes from longer, that comes from long; straighter, that comes from straight; and bigger, that comes from big, the opposite of small, right? Um, I guess this part is really easy because it's really just put er in the end of the word. So really, there's no like mystery or something like that. It's really easy. So let's move to the next part. We have good and bad that are very common comparatives, right? And they are irregular. So we can say gooder or more good or better and more bad. We say better and worse, okay? Because they are irregular. So for example, his English is better than mine. We can't say his English is more good than mine. No, it's better. Or the weather today is worse than yesterday. I think hamburgers are worse than vegetables. This person is crazy, right? Dogs are better than cats. Okay? So it's really easy because they are these that only they are irregular, right? So it's easy. And that's it. That's the main part of the irregulars and ER. Easy, right? Or not? So the next part is when we use more, because when the adjective that you're using is long, like for example important, interesting, beautiful, expensive, and other adjectives that are long, you need to use more before the word. So we have here some examples like English is more important than math. This is a fact, right? Obviously English is way more important than math. So we need to use more important. Be careful. We can't put er in the end of long words, okay, when we are comparing two things. We need to put more in the adjective. So English is more important than math. Green Day is more interesting than Iron Maiden. These are bands, okay? And one is more interesting than the other. She's more beautiful than June. And Ferraris are more expensive than Porsches. All of those adjectives are long words, so you need to use more before the word. Okay. When the word is short, you put er, and when the word is long, you put more. It's pretty easy. And that's it. Moving on, we have also the alternative ways of comparing two things when we use as and as. When we use as, we're thinking about things that are similar, like they are as good as. The first thing is good and the other is also good. So we put as. For example, she's as beautiful as June. She's beautiful, but June is also beautiful. So she's as beautiful as June. He's as tall as his father. He's tall. His father is also tall, and they are like their height is similar. So we put he's as tall as his father. I'm not as smart as my sister. Here we are saying in the negative form, right? I'm not as smart as my sister. So my sister is smart, but I'm not as smart as her. Sue isn't as old as her brother. Her brother is old, but she's not as old as him, right? So we have these things. As is different, right? The form is different, and what we're telling is different, right? So be careful when to use er or more, the comparative forms, and when to use the alternative comparative forms. That is this case here. Okay. We have interrogative forms of all of them. Okay. So the first example here we saw she's older than me, right? She's older than me. The interrogative form would be is she older than me? When you're asking someone, right? Is today hotter than yesterday? The affirmative form of this sentence would be today is hotter than yesterday. But if I'm asking someone, I need to say, is today hotter than yesterday? Just like the other example, we told that hamburgers are worse than vegetables. And if we are asking someone this question, we need to say, are hamburgers worse than vegetables? Dogs are better than cats was the affirmative sentence. If we ask someone, are dogs better than cats? Or we can change, right? Are cats better than dogs? It depends on who is saying. We mentioned here the example. English is more important than math, but we can also say, is English more important than math when we're asking someone, right? Obviously, the person will answer, of course. And also using as we have the interrogative forms. Am I as smart as my sister when I'm asking someone something, right? Here we saw the negative form of this sentence, right? Here, where is it? I'm not as smart as my sister. Am I as smart as my sister? Those are the interrogative forms. Okay, they're easy. It's just put the verb to be that we used in the beginning of the sentence, just like every interrogative that we do in English, right? So moving on, we have also the negative forms. We saw some examples, but here there are others. She isn't older than me means that I'm older than her, right? Brazil isn't bigger than the USA. It's true, right? But we saw the example that USA is bigger than Brazil, right? Let me check. Here, Brazil is smaller than the USA, and Brazil isn't bigger than USA. They are synonyms, right? Because big and small, they are opposites. Dogs aren't better than cats. Here is the negative form of dogs are better than cats. He isn't as tall as his father, means that he's or shorter or taller than his father. They are not similar. And his English isn't better than mine, means that my English is better than his. Okay. So here we are. All of those verbs to be, they are compacted, right? Because here the normal form is not or are not, right? But we can contract and make it isn't or aren't. You don't need to put the whole sentence, right? And when we are speaking, we usually say isn't, not is not. Okay. um, and basically that's it, right? It's easy. And here I propose to you an exercise to do at your house. Okay, you need to compare your city that you live with other cities that you know. Which one is better? So you can create sentences. Like for example, my city is hotter than, I don't know, USA maybe. USA is not a city, but I can say like my city is smaller than Rio, for example. because I live in the countryside, so it's smaller. Or I can say São Paulo is bigger than Curitiba, for example. I'm comparing two cities, and I can't like give my opinion of which one is better because I really don't know a lot. I don't know a lot of cities, but that's the main point. I propose this exercise to you, so you can train and practice what we just saw, right? Using the comparative forms. Um, Basically, that's it. It's pretty easy. Like, just to review everything, we put er when the word is short. We put more and the adjective when the word is long. We can use ss as an alternative when we want to emphasize that the things are similar. And we have also the negative and interrogative forms. When you want to deny something, you use the negative, and when you want to ask someone something, you use the interrogative form. Always in the interrogative form, you need to put the verb to be in the beginning of the sentence, right? And in the negative form, you need to put not or compact and put isn't or aren't, right? And that's it. Basically, let me resume here what we do. We are a conversation platform, right? And here on YouTube, we're focusing on grammar. So you can use this grammar in our immersions and in our conversations, okay? Subscribe our channel for so you can see our tips here, right? We have class like a lot of classes during the week. We have the WhatsApp group. You can see on our planner in our website the questions that we ask in our conversations and the topics that we're going to talk about. We have the support material there as well, where you can see all the materials that we've used before, and we always post there what we use here. And you need to focus in your conversation, right? Because it's the most important part of learning languages. So it's pretty nice, and I highly recommend you to subscribe here and sign a plan on our website. Okay, basically that was it. I guess it was faster than I thought. I just used a comparative form, but that's it. I don't know if someone asked something on the chat, maybe, but no. So that's it, guys. If you have any questions that you might ask, you can come to our conversations and ask, because it's easy, and we're here to help, right? So thank you for watching this video. I hope you liked. Subscribe the channel, like the video, and all those things. Thank you, and hope to see you soon. Bye bye, guys.